So some of these cards are going to be pretty familiar. You probably recognize Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This card is just so efficient, and that treasure really fixes all of our colors. Our ramp and fixing comes from Herd Migration, the treasures off of Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and Topiary Stomper. So Topiary Stomper is an important card. It gets us, it blocks, it attacks, and it gives us our land, and we really want to hit 7 lands. This is a 7-land deck. Early game, we want to put down a Reckoner Bankbuster and then try and Twin Spell and activate the Bankbuster. So we will draw a card. Yeah, I mean, they sort of did. It's still $50 because it's still a commander staple. Like, that card is good in every format. So our mana is a little odd. Try not to this is a very expensive deck because of the mana base, and it's, I think, all rares. I have 2 Destroy Evil, 2 Abrades. So this is a really fun deck, but not budget friendly, not at all. And it's very hard to get a budget friendly version of this deck together. So I don't recommend it. We get dragged to the bottom. So, I mean, you saw all 3 decks I played against were like very creature dependent. Because Meathook Massacre's Band is not a lot of great sweepers anymore. So this deck gets to run. Drag to the Bottom is a strong sweeper. Leyline Binding is usually going to be only 2 mana, so I have lots of cheap removal spells. So early game, I put down a Bankbuster, and then I start drawing a card and killing a creature. I run 1 Zur, because I can turn the Kami War and Leyline Binding into big, hasty, lifelinking creatures. And then the Kami War is kind of my goal. So my late game is going to be Herd Migration to just put out 15 power if they don't have sweepers, or if they're a mid-range deck that runs sweepers of their own, like Burn Down the House. Then I have the Kami War, and the Kami War is card advantage that answers something right when it comes down. So even if they play like a Destroy Evil to kill my enchantment, then I still got to deal with their threat and put out a huge threat of my own. So my card advantage comes from interaction. My sideboard is basically just cheaper pieces of interaction. So Duress and Cut Down come in against opposite decks. Negate will come down when Duress comes in, and Destroy Evil will usually come in for Abrade. Shadow Prophecy, the second copy of Zur is just to like put a little more pressure on, and then Shadow Prophecy is nice card advantage and dig at the same time. So Llanowar Green Widow is a nice early threat that comes back. I don't mind so much if they deal with it, but a lot of decks will bring in graveyard interaction. They'll bring in extra graveyard trespassers and unlicensed hearse, so I'll bring those down for more interaction often. But like my sideboard is all interaction, and then 1 Sphinx of the Clear Skies, which is just for 1 more threat. All right, let's give it a try. All right. So we're going to start... so being 3-0 in traditional is registered as 6-0, so we will be starting to play against some scary people soon. And we want to be on the play, on the die roll. So this is a great hand. We have 2 of our green sources. So you'll find a lot of weird mana bases, and that is because we, as a group, like, as Magic players currently don't have access to all the pain lands. But, like, look at that. There's already an O-Ring with Flash off of 1 land! I need to make sure that I have green on turn 3. So we're just going to put down this Rafine's Tower, and that is full domain. So I do have an O-Ring. If this were an aggro deck, I'd be able to O-Ring right now. This is very good advice, Plastic. I will take it. So I am going to Leyline Binding now, just because I'm kind of scared of where this is going. I don't know what the Reality Chip decks do. I haven't seen it yet. And I am not going to have time to play it for a while. So this deck needs Roy G. Biv. Sorry, Wooburg. This is Rainbow. Oh, this is one of your guys' suggestions. Alright, I don't think I need double blue. What else do I need double of? Double black is the other thing I need 2 of. So next turn, I'm just going to play out my Green Widow and Proving Ground, and then turn 6, I'll have a Kami War, turn 7, I'll have a Herd Migration. If I liked it. If I like the song, I add it to the playlist that I use for the stream, and I just keep it on shuffle until people suggest. Reggie Bibb is an artist. Just mastery of colors. The Kami War is nice. So like this is one thing that makes standard good right now is the permanents are diverse. So like people play enchantments, people play artifacts, people play creatures, and instants and sorceries. We should assume a shore up. Green Widow's really good against blue. I hadn't even thought of that. Is it more important to kill the wedding announcement or the Jhin? I think it's more important to kill the wedding announcement. So I'm going to get in. Yeah, banning the Meat Hook Massacre opened up so many different cool decks. That's why I wanted to do the standard showcase. Because, like, we've got probably 3 weeks of good standard, and then it's going to be all thrown up again by the Brothers War. So I'm hoping that this is a shore up and not a spell pierce. Damn. Well, hopefully I can get the herd migration off, but I'm going to have to race this wedding announcement. It's going to be tough. I mean, I incorrectly predicted what their spell was because I didn't account for the Haughty Djinn's cost reduction.
I'm not overconfident.
This is a cool deck. This is white-blue tempo with, looks like, lots of tokens. So they're trying to leave back a blocker to keep the Wandering Emperor alive. If I draw a land, I get the herd migration. I didn't draw a land, so I gotta get down a Topiary Stomper. Yeah, no, I love this format right now. It's a good time. I think White Angels is a deck right now. I know you like that, Herix. I'll see if I can get one built for you. I'm just gonna wait. Oh, I'm so glad! Classic introduced me to the Hammer and the Anvil song. I'm afraid of the Jhin, but the Jhin is scary not now. It's scary because it just grows. I want to do this now, because if they shore up... Oh, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, but the S&C one is... Jhin is also a ramp. So I'm going to assume they have the shore up, because they didn't... Oh! Weird. They had no protection? I guess, so the mono blue version of this deck, which I run in a minute, uses Thirst. What do they have? Vigilance is so good against the Wandering Emperor. If they double block here, that's fine. I'm going for this herd migration, because I want to cast a herd migration so bad. Alright, you're gonna let me herd migration? So 7 is what we want. We want 7 mana, which means at 7 mana we get to start cycling our lands. I'm just stunned that both of these spells resolved. Oh, thanks. How about now? Can you hear me now? Why am I cutting out? I'm looking at my audio for the input capture. Oh, the music's cutting in and out. That's just Spotify being a butt. We're restarting Spotify. Well, I don't know what they could have, but I'm kind of scared that they haven't conceded. Alright, great draw. What you got? I mean, they aren't technically dead because they can block, 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 take 12. Sure. Ah, please, thanks for letting me know. Also fine?
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me.
Very cool.
To me.
Oh, I meant to abrade here. No, that worked out great though. I meant to abrade before blockers. But it worked out because I killed the same amount of creatures and I get to keep one more creature alive. Yes. But I wanted to abrade to stop them from blocking, not to save my creature. But it didn't matter because it would just put them down a little lower. This is Aerosol Can by Major Lazer. Okay, so they showed me White Blue Tempo with Djinns. We're gonna cut the abrades for Destroy Evil. Disdainful Stroke doesn't do much here, but Negate does stop Wandering Emperor. Duress worth it? Cut down hits the Djinn. Keeping cards up is important. Countering their counterspell will buy me one whole win this game. Leyline Binding feels like, hey, Plastic, sure thing. Have a good meal. I think just one drag comes out. No, they didn't have enough enchantments. I'm paying the Destroy Evil back out. All right, let's go. Kadama Maker. So the White Blue Tempo deck is kind of cool. I don't have early interaction, but I do have red, green, white, blue, black. So turn 2 Leyline Binding. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm going to try and save the Leyline Binding for a wedding announcement or a Haughty Djinn. That's why I wanted the third Destroy Evil, because it hits the 2 cards I'm most scared of. Alright, this way I get to Bank Buster. So it might be worth waiting until turn 4 so I can Bank Buster and hold up Negate. But I think they really want to put down a huge threat on turn 3, either Djinn or wedding announcement. So we're going to just do the same thing for 2 turns in a row, which is Bank Buster holding up Leyline Binding. Bank Buster is really rough for them. They have to counter it if they can. The music video for this song is so cool. It's just one guy spray painting a wall. But like, I'll pull it up a little. I'll post to my Discord a little later. Yeah, still just Bank Buster holding up the Leyline Binding, and if they counter the Bank Buster again, I'm fine with that. Because they probably have to use a Negate at this point. I'm okay with that too. Like, the thing about this deck is every card I play is something they have to counter. So normally, the blue decks do well when they can snipe specific decks. So full control, I'm going to let this resolve, and then Leyline Binding. Yeah, Leyline Binding is a very good card. Like, it sees play in... I mean, I played in that Exploration deck. They might Destroy Evil here, but if they tap out, I'm happy with that. Yeah! The world is spinning too fast. I buy lead Nike shoes to keep myself out. Alright, I've got black, black, green, green, red, red, white, white, blue, blue. Stop dancing to the music of gorillas in a happy mood. Keep a mild groove on. Alright, so I'm probably going to try and get a drag to the bottom off a little later. Which means I need to just sort of rush threats out. And if they want to exile my Green Widow, that's fine. I'm going to hold up this Destroy Evil if they try and draw a card here. But if they're just making a dude, that's fine. What a hand. I love this kind of deck. Blue, white, green, black. I can cast all my spells. Ah. I'm gonna negate this. I don't want them to be up on cards. I just don't want them to have this 2-for-1. And this is also a compelling reason to put in a little bit of graveyard interaction. Get the Koshu shine. If I draw a land, oh, I am gonna just herd migration here. Some monkey in the jungle watching a vapor train. I think I just attack here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need to get their counter spells gone. So if I attack here and try and kill the wedding festivity, then they will counter it. I'm okay with that. I want to try and resolve drag to the bottom next turn. Taking a big hit to resolve drag to the bottom. Probably should have put in duress. See what they do. They play a land and they just want to flashback the Memory Deluge. So there's the land. So they really want to flashback Memory Deluge this turn. So if I kill this Hadijin now, then they will either counter it or tap out to cast the Memory Deluge in response. And either of those I'm okay with, because I don't think both of their last 2 cards are counterspells. Alright, there it is. They get to look at 6 and keep 2 of them, and I get to hopefully draw a land and herd migration. Well, this is another one that I got from all of you. Another song. They don't, like, they want to push in for damage, but they don't want to just take 8 here and go to 5. Land! That's okay. Yeah, getting to resolve my spells is very bad for them. It does trample, so they can't double block now. What do you have that makes that a good play? And they did get to peak 6 and choose 2 of them. So they have... Oh no! Expected farewell. No, it just meant that they were wiping the board. Demon... Oh, wait. I was so confused, Duo. It's okay, I have a very good follow-up to a sweeper. I was not expecting farewell, though. Wow. Let's see if they have another farewell, because if they don't, I'm attacking them for 15. But if they want to be the sweeper deck, that means I should probably cut drag to the bottom. Well, that's 2 blockers, so I've got 9 damage here. Put them to 2. That was a great draw. I love that just 7 mana for 15 power is good enough in standard, because a lot of the time that's not the case. Drawing a card. Alright, negate's a very good draw. That means that farewell is not an out for them. I mean, it's farewell or bust, buddy. That's not true. They make 2 bodies, so they can put down 2 blockers. So, the Wandering Emperor does keep them alive. Good game. This is a fun deck. Was that the first match with this one? This is a keepable hand, because I have red, green. I am missing blue, but that's okay. So this is going to be a drag to the bottom hand. I'm going to play to wiping the board with this card. definitely going to need this Abrade against mono red. But gaining 3 life is very useful, and Green Widow blocks the Chick. Rabbit Battery? I love Rabbit Battery. So mono red is a card you're going to see a lot if you're just climbing the ladder. Or a deck you're going to see a lot. Overall, it's kind of weak. Alright, full control. I do not want them to get to have a combat step here. So, mono red is a deck where you just sort of have to take your hits. I'm going to put down the Fable instead of the Green Widow. But big creatures, mid-range, is what beats it. Ooh. No blocks. Damn, god, damn, god, damn, god, damn. I need lands. Spot removal is great. We're going to pitch the Green Widow too. No lands. So I can attack here. Leyline Binding. I really want to get the drag to the bottom off next turn. And I don't want to miss any land drops. So let's go get a mountain. No, I need an island. Right. Green, black, gain 3 life. Very important. 1.2 million though? Damn, god damn, god damn, god damn. Let's see. If I attack, I can just put down another Fable. Can use the treasure to Abrade. Yeah. Alright, and then before blockers, Abrade. That's awesome. I like having this amount of viewers. I like having all of you here. It's a good audience, but I get to chat with you. Ronin's good. What do I want to bind? Something's getting bound. It might be the Ronin, because it doesn't die to my drag. So next turn, they're just going to suit up their Chick. I don't think that I need to drag this turn. So if I drag this turn, they untap and I take 2, but I give up 2 creatures. And if I just leave these blockers back, then I take 3 damage. Because they're just going to put both of these here. Kumano flips. Yeah, we're going to attack here. And then put down a Fable and a Bank Buster. And then after this block, I'm a little bit more willing. I want to get this Green Widow back to block the Phoenix Chick. They're at 2 cards in the graveyard, and they need 4 to save Squee. So Crystal Grotto is just a colorless land that scries. They almost never filter it. We're going to have a very good turn. That's exactly how mono red works. Alright, we're going to give up on this drag to the bottom. And good luck for lands. There's some lands. All right. We've got a really fun turn here. Neat. All right, this is going to be a fun turn. Let's see if we can get it. It's a good trick. Instant speed. Make a copy. Reach block. I love the Green Widow. Some nice rabbits you got there. I do want this card. Isn't it? I love decks with, like, more interaction than your opponent can reasonably track. Got another trick, if you want to see it. The next turn they get to attack, I'm going to take 2 in the air and go to 5. All right, so, well, I'll talk about it as we get there. This is something you don't get to see too often because it's so important that you kill Reflections of Kiki-Jiki. And it is important to note that there's 2 important things about Kiki-Jiki. So, the first important thing about Reflections of Kiki-Jiki is that it is... Aww, I didn't get to do my thing. Well, what you can do if you have 2 reflections is, since it triggers at the beginning of the end step, if you wait for their end step, you get to copy them back and forth. So I was going to make 7 reflections of Kiki-Jiki on their end step. All right. 3 cut downs. That's pretty much it. Like, Negate and Duress can both be helpful. Zur is nice as just a blocker. But we're going to come down 2 drag to the bottom, and they have very few targets for Destroy Evil. They do have some targets, so I might keep 1. But, like, so this is a cool deck because Herd Migration doesn't come out as a 7-mana spell. It just slides over into the 2-drop slot. You're going to be using it as a 2-mana spell a lot more often. I might bring in a Negate for a Bank Buster just because I don't need as much card advantage. Yeah, I like this. Like, I know it's counterintuitive to take out sweepers against aggro decks, but, like, against decks that generate a lot of tokens, you want those sweepers. But we just want to deal with their single target removal as it comes down. All right, I'll take a win. We're gold 1. All right, 1 more game with our 5-color domain control. Sorry that our opponents keep scooping. I was going to make 14 reflections of Kiki-Jiki and then attack with them all. And I don't get to do that now. What a jerk. What a jerk. How dare they not let me kill them with infinite reflections. This is sweet and historic. I ran that for a while. I ran Sultai Titan's Nest for a while, but it kind of got outclassed by Emergent Ultimatum. I'm not going to keep a 6-lander as much as I want to, even though these lands cycle. Can I keep a 1-lander? No, I got to go to 5. But this deck mulligans well, so don't be upset if you have to mulligan with it. So here I can either keep a Sweeper and Leyline Binding Control hand or a Zur Leyline Binding hand. I kind of like the idea of the Zur Leyline Binding hand. Actually, if I keep Drag to the bottom, I can put back the Forest. No, I'll put back a tower. There we go. We figured it out. I think this is correct. Well, we are 100% on the drag to the bottom plan. Oh. I don't watch a lot of Aspiring Spike, but I do like their style. Thanks, Sandy. The Braid was a great draw. Just dealing with his Firebrand is really useful. If I can Zur my Leyline Binding to gain life. I think I'd still rather deal with the Firebrand. The Firebrand is dealing 8 damage over 2 turns, when Squeeze is dealing 7 damage over 2 turns. And on the 3rd turn, Squeeze is better. But if I don't drag to the bottom within 3 turns, I'm going to lose anyway. Okay. I need a swamp here. And I need to not die this turn, so I'm taking 4, 5, 6 damage, going to 9. And then I'm going to drag to the bottom. Dotton Pasado. How's it going? It's nice to meet you. Thanks for the follow. I'm Scuffle. We're having some fun today. I'm just going to pass. And before attacks... So if I were to Leyline Binding now, then there's a chance that they just play another Squee. If they Lightning Strike me twice, I just die. Nice. Play with Fire isn't Lightning Strike. That Lightning Strike, little known fact, is Lightning Strike. So before combat, but after they have the chance to play a second Squee, I'm going to bind the Squee. And then I untap and drag to the bottom. I just have to hope that whatever they play here isn't something that's immediately lethal. Oh, never mind. I don't know why I thought I was at 6. Alright, so... Cut down. We just didn't get our lands there. Might just be Topiary Stomper. I think I'm supposed to take out Topiary Stompers and some number... Well, these interact so nicely together, though. Topiary Stomper to crew Bankbuster is just really strong in general. I think Destroy Evil doesn't do quite enough. It does hit Kumano Faces Kakazan, but I think that is it. 1 drag, 1 Kami War. Maybe 2 Kami Wars so that I can put Zur back in. Keep 1 negate. No, I think I'd rather have Destroy Evil than negate because they do power up the creatures a little bit. Or just drag. Yeah, I like this. Alright, I didn't get to finish sideboarding against Mono Red last game because they conceded too fast. Bankbuster and a Topiary Stomper feels great. I got hurt by my mana there, which, you know, it'll happen. Alright, so on the play, so this is not a hand I can keep on the draw, but on the play, I can cycle for a second. I can Herd Migration for another forest, get the Stomper down, and then Leyline Binding. The die roll is huge against Mono Red. Like, them going first against you is devastating. Look how cute this is. It's adorable. Little chicken boy. It's wrecking me. Leyline Binding if I have to, but I would prefer to Herd Migration. No 2-drop is good news, and we should assume that they have a Squee coming because of that. I think I just want a swamp right now. Make sure I can drag. Very nice. That was a great draw. I get the Leyline Binding now. Probably on the Firebrand, but if they play a Squee, I'd like to hit that. Yep. So, control, resolve, and post-resolution before attacks. Leyline Binding. Very nice. Ow. There's a land I can play. Can also just herd migration. Get the second black source. I draw a card, because if I draw a tap land, I might play it. Okay. I'll play the Leyline Binding if I have to, but I'd prefer to just cycle the herd migration to make sure I get my second black source for the drag. In that case, I might get a green source. Yeah, I'll take it all. Get a green source for my Stomper. So they're going to put down the Ronin next turn. So drag will only buy me so much time here. Well, I can drag and then use a Leyline Binding to make sure that I don't get nailed by the Phoenix Chicks. Alright, so one forest puts me up to 7 mana for the herd migration, which is very good news. We're just going to drag, though. I know, the chickums. That's fine. Alright, so they put that on the bottom. They're looking for another haste creature to try and bring back their chickens. They need their chickens. And I'm going to use the Leyline Binding to try and prevent that from happening. So if this is something like a Reckless Firebrand or a Vampire. Alright, full control there. This is where a Zur would be great. White, blue, black. Activate Zur. Attack for 6, gain 6. Alright, Forest. Fable down. I'll cycle this herd migration if I have to, but I'm going to try to avoid it because I'd rather just draw a card with my Bakebuster. Right? Zur's cool. Can't crew. He's pushing damage. Draw a card. Well, I'll pitch one Stomper. Really need a second green source right now. I'm going to pitch the drag. It's a little bit of a risk. But this is a good draw. Good job, duo. Yep, so they just figured it out what I was trying to do. And they're still looking for a squee. A squee is back. A squee is game because it lets them. It's not game, but it's definitely bad for me. But they fucked up. They really needed double red open there. Is it when you attack with 2 creatures? 3 creatures? I thought you only had to attack with 2 creatures. Never mind. So what I get to do is activate this Bank Buster, and when the last count is removed, it makes a pilot, which crews the other Bank Buster. Yeah, my turn. Yeah, I am feeling pretty good about this game now. $15 power is a lot. In case you weren't aware. In case you weren't aware. Get in for 8. And then go for lethal next turn. They can kill me. So they can Lightning Strike here on end step and then untap and draw another burn spell. Or another haste creature. No, because they need 2 haste bodies. 3 or more creatures. Yep, okay. Yeah, I mean, like, he's close. It could be a vampire. Like, if the last card was a Lightning Strike and they top decked the vampire, but even that would only put me to 1. You want to count your life total in the Lightning Strikes, because they can vampire back a bunch of Lightning Strikes all at once. Thinking I just want more bodies with flying. One drag for one Sphinx. I wanted to test this against more control decks, but like it's good to know how to deal with burn a little bit. Turn 2, cut down. Turn 3, Green Widow is pretty good. Or Stomper, based on how many blockers I need, which is going to be a lot. The answer is a lot. Problem with cut down is a turn 1, Kumano's faces Kakazan, turn 2, route is Firebrand. I don't know if that's because your hand is busted or because it's bad. Green, white, black, blue. So I'm missing 1 color. Alright, what's more important to kill? Taking 6 over 2 turns or 2 over 2 turns? It's more important that I kill the Firebrand. So I'm going to put down the Green Widow to block next turn. I misread. I totally thought the Phoenix Shake was better than it was. If I draw any land that is untapped, I can put down the Stomper to get an island, and then Leyline Binding would only be 1 mana. Let's see if they have the Lightning Strike. I'm gonna take some damage here. Just need more lands right now. Need an island or a swamp. I'm missing only blue. Okay. This is Love This Song. It's a song about a little boy teaching an alien music. That's a problem. It's a lot of damage coming in. Hot. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'll block the scariest creature. Take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to 4. Alright, gain 3. Really need that life right now. Need a white for the Leyline Binding. That's double white, but I can't get another white source. I need more green. That's it, really. Black green for a Bank Buster. Get the Leyline Binding and have 2/4/4 blockers. Whew. Grab a battery's good. And then I get to crew and block 2 big threats. So 1, 2, take 4, go to 3. So they're looking to Lightning Strike me. And crew with the Stomper. And block the 2 scariest creatures. So they are just looking for a Lightning Strike or Bust now. But if I draw a white source, I can put down Zur and gain 6. Not a white source. I only have 1 white mana. Need all the blockers I can get. But if I untap here, I win. I gotta tap out all the way. Hope for the best. Has to attack. Okay. I got blockers. If they draw a Lightning Strike, I die. And if they don't draw a Lightning Strike, I win. Yeah, it wasn't a Lightning Strike. Alright, we are 6-0 on the day. And straight through gold to platinum without any losses.